Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Mubak Dauda. This channel, you'll be learning everything about data analytics, Power BI, Power Query, my lifestyle as a data analyst, and any career tips that will help you grow in your data career also. Hi guys, in this video we looking at how to handle headers. So when you ingest your data into Power Query and you want to clean them, most times you might have data from the source, just like how this Excel file look like that. It is not converted to the table from the onset. Any source that it might be from CSV, might be from SQL database, and if you not detect the header, you have all this information as text. And you might want to change the index, which is you want to bring this first one that identified as a column, which is the title of this field, to be the column name instead of this row. So to do that, you just go to the transform ribbon here and you use first row as header, and that will move up, and that's change those into header. So that's how you can like handle headers if you have this type of data. You want to clean it. The other part is one other part is on default setting of Power Query. It is set to automatically be first row as header. If you come to your Power Query settings and then come to option and setting, you you find it in the data load here. You can see always dictate column type and header from structure that dictate column type, but it's set as default, like it should always dictate. So when you import your new data into Power Query or Power BI, you would not need to like be doing that first header. But in a case that you might find a data that doesn't dictate it, you will be the one that to do that, and that's how to do first two as header. And sometimes you might have your rule because your data might not have a column, might not have a column name, and Power Query will automatically dictate the first row as header for you. So if you have those type and you want to like bring it down, you can just come to this use first row as header and say use header as first row. It will take those first information back. So and to cancel those steps, you can see here promoted header. So anytime you import data, you only see promoted data and shift type because it's been set automatically to work that way. So that's how you handle headers and rows when you are cleaning data in Power Query. So and next one you have is data profiling and category. So this is quite important for you when you want to clean data because it gives you the overview of how your data is being structured, what you have in your data, and how you can approach your cleaning method. So to to see that, you'll see the first thing about profiling is this. You can see it gives you the entire overview of the 6 columns and 60 rows. They tell you that okay, for all the table that you bring in, how many columns is there, how many rows is there. So you have 6 columns and 66 rows, and this column profile here is based on this column profile here is based on top 1000. So because when you import data into Power Query, it will show you the first top 1000 of the data. So and one thing I always do is I change it to entire data set. Let's say you have millions of tables, like millions of rows, or hundred of thousands of rows. You'll be able to see that okay, you have 6 columns and you have the number of rows that you see 999 plus plus plus. But this way it comes because you might have a long, like a very large data, let's say hundred of thousands of rows, and you cannot be scrolling to say, okay, you want to know what is inside your column. This product ID, it shows you as the number, the product number, the name, the size, all this information now because this is less data. You can keep scrolling to say, okay, here now you see no, here you see you see this, you see numbers, and you already profile this. For you to now know in this aspect of this data now, you come to your view ribbon here for you to profile the data and you say enable column distribution. What do you see that changes? You see blank information wise that has been added that was not there before. The second one is enable column quality. You see you have another information added to that. And the third one you see a column profile. This column profile will give you statistics of every column that you have. just basic statistics of everything you have, the minimum, the maximum value in that column, the count, the distance count, and everything. So this column profile I would like not advisable to like make it enable because when you are selecting a column, we'll be always showing it for you and be displaying your view and be disturbing your view to see the overview of the data. So now let's check it, and when you want to see distribution, you can just come and enable it back. So I will disable it so I can see the data I have. So now this is how you profile because this is showing you based on the information you have now. You say you have 100% valid column, 100% valid column. Everything is just blank because there is no category assigned to these fields, to these columns yet. So if you come to product ID now, it's showing that okay, this is a number because for you to identify a number and the text, is number is formatted as a right indent. You can see it's format to the right, and text is format to the left. So anytime you have a text, you have like a record that aligned to the left, aligned to the left side. That is a text value. Anytime you have a if you have a record that aligns to the right side, that is the number value. So your date, your numbers, they are number value. So if I come in, as it says the number value, so I come to data category, I will go to transform tab, and you will see data type, which is our data category. It means you want to assign a data type to this field. And when I say, okay, this data should be a whole number, what do you notice something here? You can see those values that are blank here has changed to something here. Now it's telling me that there are 66 unique and 60 distinct in this record. And what does that mean? It means this record doesn't have a duplicate, which means a number does not repeat more than one times. All of them repeat once. That's what 66 unique means. Distinct means that number, the number might appear one time and repeated more than one times too. So we'll be covering that in as you like when we finish all of this. So product ID, a data category, which is the data pattern assigned to it. So instead of becoming to transform tab, you can see this AB123 here because this has not been identified. That's why it is any. If I click on this now, you see it is any. And if you want to change it, you can come in here or you can just click on this ABC drop down, which is the shortcut and make it faster for you. So this should be a text because it's aligned to the text to the left. Now you can see this should appear like change to. I come here, if I do this one, so should be text. Price should be number, and you're coming there. Unit price should be decimal number. So fixed decimal number here is a currency type. That's well, you can see the currency icon. I see different data type of what you want to use, and then you like decimal number here is all you have. So for you to see how this works, you can see because I need to like see just clear the cache of what has already been put there. So all of this shows 66. It means every record here repeats only once, which means they are unique. That's what it's telling us. That's why you see 66, 16, 66 unique. Where this come in handy is when you're preparing your modeling, preparing a table for modeling that you want to have distinct record. You don't want to have duplicate record. So when your distinct and unique is the same number, it means that table does not contain duplicate or that column does not contain duplicate. But when your distinct and unique change like is not the same, it means there is duplicate. For example, look at this 16 distinct now and one unique. This one is telling that there are 16 records in this value, like there are 16 records in this value, which means there are 16 unique, which is one unique. One unique is the only one that say okay, it is not record. 16 distinct means this record appear more than one times. For example, now 1059 is a one record, but it appear more than one. That's why it is a distinct. 13 to appear more than once, it's a distinct. So it will count all these ones that appear more than once as one. But unique means that you only have one record that is unique. It means one does not repeat more than once. They only appear once. All the 16, this means there are 16 records that appear more than once. So in that way, you call them a duplicate. You can say change suggestion that remove duplicate. If I say remove duplicate now, it will show me all those ones. You can see this is a 16 record I say. And you can see 16 distinct and 16 unique. That's how you profile it. That's how you like know the one that are unique, the one that are distinct. So all those ones that appear more than once, you can say that it has moved them, but these are the unique record now. That's why you're having 16 distinct unique. But we are not doing the duplicate here. done it in our previous video. So just explaining how this data profiling works and what distinct and unique means. So you'll find some articles that are attached in the description of this video. And so the other one here, you can see size does not have a data profile. Another shortcut is when you want to like remove row, you can just right click, you can say remove duplicate based on this data quality too. You right click on them and then it will show you that okay, you can see most of the thing you want to like do instead of like going to transform and be looking for or home tab. That's where just shortcut is to make it faster. I use this a lot. So for size now, this should be a number column because size number and you have some text there. If I change the data type, which is I assign a whole number category for this column now, I will have error because the null he identified them as a null, which is a blank. So for the one that is text, you can see you have error here. So if I click on this error to validate this error, it's saying that it couldn't convert to number. That's what it's saying. This M is a text because it's aligned at the left side and you cannot identify it as a number. That's why it threw all those error. And now if you see that it threw all this error now, you can see the column quality has changed, which means it's telling you that there is error in this column. There are 6 records that have errors. The value that's done because they are error now. So in this aspect now, you can say, "Okay, maybe I want to remove the error. I can just right click on this column or on this data column quality and column quality, and I say, okay, remove errors. When I remove errors, you can see things changes now. We now have 93% valid and 7% empty. So this one is saying that out of all the record in this entire data set, only 7% contain empty, which is this no, 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 no here. And if you over on this now, you see that you see the number of records that are empty 4. So what this data profile and category like more important for is when you're working with large data because you cannot be scrolling at every single data that you have. Let's say you have thousand of those. You cannot be scrolling and say you want to say okay which one contain null in the column, which one does not contain, which one contain error. So because if you're working with Power BI and you say, okay, maybe you see based on the 1000, you scroll to the 1000, you cannot find anything there. So you say your data are clean and you do this to your model and your model is telling you that there's error somewhere. We're like, well, I cleaned this data, I spent hours on it, but I cannot find anything. That's what data profiling is so important. You will see everything at a glance. When you change the entire data set, you will see the percentage of error. So you will know that this column you need to treat it differently. You will know the column that you want to like spend time on at a very easy glance and give you the overview of what other things might do. So that's that for data profiling and category. Next one we'll be going to is transpose. Means transpose in just layman words is to change a row to column. That's what transpose means. Transpose means to change a row to column. Here now we have 3 rows: product name, product category, and sales. And when we transpose it, it means this product name here will remain here as a column. This product category will come as a second column. So everything under this one, everything under this first row will come as a column down like this in a straight format. This second one that is second one here will come to a new column in a straight format. This cell in third one will come to a straight column as a straight column also. So when you're working with that, like you want to transpose, you just select that column that you want to transpose. And one thing about transpose is it applies to the entire table. It doesn't apply to a specific column. So it applies to the entire table. So if I select column 1 now, and I will go to transform, and you see transpose here. And you can see that. So you pick the first row, turn it to column. The second row, which is product category, turn it to column. Third row, that is sales, turn it to column. And that is it. And you can see after you're clearing your data now, you can see. You can now say this is where you want to like use first row as header because this first row should be the header, should be the heading. So you can come here in this shortcut and say use first row as header. And voila, you can see your 295 distinct and unique here. Here there are 37 distinct and 9 unique, making it total of. So there are 37 distinct means there are 37 records that appear more than once, which means that are duplicates. And there are 9 records that only appear once. So that's what that means. And you can see everything here now. And you can see this column profile now. It's showing that there are 3 columns and how many rows? 295 rows. Because in the entire glance, you can be able to see the number of rows that you have in your data. So that's how transpose works. So when you have a lot, when you have a wide data in this aspect, when you have a wide data in this aspect that coming in this aspect, and you want to make it into a long data, what Power BI can like understand and use for analysis to create reporting, you just transpose the table and this is how you make it into a structural form that will be useful for analysis in Power BI. So we have renaming columns. Renaming columns is just you renaming columns. So we have renaming columns. Renaming columns is you renaming columns into how you want them to be, more user-friendly naming convention or more user-friendly description that make your analysis easier and make people relate with your field columns very well. So for example, this product ID. So to rename a column, you can double click on the column and rename it. That is one step. Another one is you can just come here and come to your transform ribbon and you will see rename here. So this one is so long for me actually, but that's how you like access it. That's another one. The another method you can do is you can right click on the column and you'll see rename down here. The fastest one is just to like double click and I'll just put space in between the product and product ID. For product number also, I'll just want to put I don't want number, I want product and whole. So this one is product name. I just double click and put product name. And this one is size. I can say product size. And then I want to put space in unit price. And this one should be sales price. Double click. Sales price. So these are your rename column for more user recognition and naming convention. More user descriptive. So these are your rename column. Maybe the part two of our data cleaning series, and in the next video we continue with our data cleaning series. If you have any question, kindly drop it in the comments. And you can check some articles that can help you about data cleaning too in the description. Subscribe, click on the bell icon so you get notified when a video drops. Nice having you here. Bye.